BTS News Today, Los Angeles, July 25, 2025. The sun had just risen over the skyline of the city that never sleeps. Yet HYBE's headquarters at the heart of the global entertainment industry was already in turmoil since dawn. Not a single staff member moved leisurely that morning. Everyone appeared anxious, whispering from room to room, bowing their heads as Jimin passed through the hallway with an expression more tense than any he'd worn since BTS's last world tour. Jimin didn't speak to anyone. He paused for a few seconds in front of the large mirror in the recording room, staring at his own reflection as if trying to ensure his courage hadn't crumbled. His face was pale, his eyes tired from lack of sleep, and in his ears still echoed the last words he heard the previous night from a senior HYBE executive. "If you don't say it, we will." Meanwhile, Jungkook had just arrived from a secret rehearsal at an undisclosed location. His hair was still damp, his body unrelaxed when he received a short message from Jimin. "Hyung needs to talk. Now. Meeting room 3. Don't bring anyone." He didn't reply immediately. He just stood still, staring at his phone screen, sensing something ominous in Jimin's choice of words. Too formal. Too urgent. Too pressured. Jungkook knew Jimin not just as a groupmate, not just as a friend. Jimin was his home, someone who always knew when Jungkook needed a quiet hug or just a silent companion. So when Jimin asked to meet alone, without explanation, his first instinct wasn't suspicion. It was fear, because something had to be wrong. Upon entering meeting room 3, Jungkook found Jimin already sitting at the far end of the long table, hands folded on the glass surface, eyes staring blankly at the large monitor still displaying the HYBE logo. "Hyung." Jungkook opened the door slowly and closed it behind him. "What's going on?" Jimin didn't answer right away. He just nodded, signaling Jungkook to sit across from him. A long silence followed, seconds that felt like minutes, before Jimin finally took a deep breath and said, "Sorry it has to be like this." That first sentence was enough to make Jungkook's heart race. "Hyung, you're scaring me." "What is? We can't hide anymore, Jungkook." "What do you mean?" Jungkook asked quickly. "Is this about us? About the secret project?" Jimin shook his head, slowly, then looked Jungkook straight in the eyes with a gaze more terrifying than anger. A look of someone who had lost a long battle against the truth. "HYBE knows everything. They know about us." Jungkook froze. His body tensed. It felt like the room temperature dropped 10 degrees. "Since when?" he whispered. "Months ago. But they only confronted me yesterday. I thought I could hold it off longer. Hide everything, protect you." Jungkook pressed his lips together. His eyes began to redden. "And now?" Jimin inhaled again, this time deeper, shakier. "They're going to make it public, or force us to give a confession they've scripted. They say it's for the company's image, for stock stability, for BTS, but not for us." "But we're not ready," Jungkook said, his voice breaking. "I'm not ready." "I know," Jimin said softly, and that's when the first tear fell from his eyes. "Neither am I." Jungkook turned away. His throat tightened, his chest heavy. "What exactly do they know, Hyung? That we're too close. That our relationship is beyond what they can control. That all our little getaways, our midnight studio sessions, our secret vacations, they've known for a long time. And they see it as a threat." Jungkook laughed bitterly. "A threat? We just love each other." "That's exactly the problem," Jimin whispered. Silence crept back in. Then Jimin stood. He pulled out a brown envelope from his bag and handed it to Jungkook. "This is their documentation. The confession script, a new contract, and a warning." Jungkook opened the envelope slowly. His hands trembled. He read the first few paragraphs. Then his eyes stopped at a line that hit him like a slap. "If the artist refuses to comply with the outlined public disclosure strategy, all promotional, distribution, and partnership support will be suspended indefinitely." Jungkook closed the envelope and placed it back on the table. "What are we, Jimin? Products? Property?" Jimin lowered his head. "Maybe that's how they see us. But to me, you're the only reason I've survived all this." Those words made Jungkook rise from his seat. He walked to the large window, staring at the city that now seemed distant and hostile. "If we go public, the world will change. I know. Army will be hurt. Maybe. We'll lose everything." "Not everything," Jimin whispered. Jungkook turned. And through the morning light that illuminated Jimin's face, he saw an honesty that couldn't be denied. A love that couldn't be buried. and a courage that slowly chipped away at his fear. "I can't hide anymore, Jungkook. I'm tired. I want to live honestly." Jungkook walked closer. He took Jimin's hand, held it tightly. "Me too," he replied. "But if we fall together." Jimin nodded. "Always." That day, they decided to reject HYBE's entire plan. They wrote their own confession. No script, no censorship, no marketing strategy. Just two hearts finally choosing to speak the truth. And when they uploaded that video, a simple recording from a small basement studio, just the two of them sitting side by side, holding hands, the world went still. That night, the hashtag We Support Jungkook trended globally at #1. HYBE couldn't stop it. Reactions poured in from all over the world. Fear, shock, overwhelming support. But one thing didn't change: their love. And their decision to never hide again. A minute after the video was posted, they sat together in that small studio, in silence. No words, no background music, only the sound of their own heartbeats echoing off the padded walls. Jimin's eyes stayed glued to his phone screen, awaiting whatever storm might come, be it a tsunami or deadly silence. Jungkook sat beside him, still holding his hand tightly, as if the world could break at any moment, and they had only each other. 12 seconds after uploading, notifications started flooding in. 2 dozens. Within 2 minutes, comment counts exploded into the hundreds of thousands. Likes surged in a flash. Retweets, reposts, screen captures, clips shared across platforms, all moving like an unstoppable storm. But it wasn't the numbers that stunned them. It was one name that appeared on Jimin's screen: Kim Namjoon, their Hyung, their leader, the man who had stood between them and the world, guiding, protecting, hiding his pain so the rest could keep going. Namjoon's message was only one sentence: "I've always known. But today, I'm prouder than ever." Jimin couldn't hold back his tears. He handed the phone to Jungkook, who immediately pulled him into a hug, like a child finally allowed to cry after holding it in too long. After Namjoon, Hoseok's message came. Then Yoongi. Even Jean, still in military service, slipped a message through an anonymous account known only to the 7 of them. "It's okay to be human, Kook. It's okay to be whole, Jimin. We've got you." But not all messages were warm hugs. A storm of threats, accusations, slander, even edited videos claiming it was a marketing ploy also poured in. Some HYBE investors reportedly began pulling funds. Stock values fluctuated wildly, and within 10 hours, the company announced an emergency press conference. That night became unforgettable. Not just because the world finally knew the truth they had hidden for years, but because, for the first time in their lives, they went to sleep without masks, without scripts, without fear. The next morning, they didn't wake up as flawless global idols. They woke up as Jimin and Jungkook, two boys from Busan who finally dared to say that love shouldn't be hidden. But the real battle had just begun. At 10 a.m., they were summoned to HYBE's headquarters. Not to the small LA studio, but to the main office in Seoul. The flight was rushed, with no official schedule, no usual staff accompaniment. Only their longtime manager Minwo Hyung came along, visibly tense from the start. Upon arrival, they were led straight to the top floor, where private executive meetings were typically held.